Introduce yourself.
My name is Scott Sterling. I'm 22 and I go to AUM.
How old were you when you first started drugs and alcohol?
So I first started drugs and alcohol around 13 or 14, and kind of before that I started smoking cigarettes.
What made you start?
Kind of what made me start was being introduced to it at a young age. Being so young, I didn't know who I was or who I wanted to be, and I thought that doing drugs and alcohol and fitting in with other people would give me more friends and allow me to do more things.
What made you start?
Kind of what made me start is what I said was the peer pressure and I guess not really feeling right with myself, and I thought that drinking and doing drugs and things like that would make me feel better.
Give a brief summary of your addiction history.
So, like I said, I started off at around 13 or 14. First, I started off with smoking weed, and then I moved on to alcohol. It all happened kind of fast. I went to a bunch of parties, and I did things like pills and cough syrup or codeine, marijuana, things like that. It just got worse and worse because as time went by, weed wasn't enough for me and drinking wasn't enough. So I began to, get into stronger things and take more and more of what I was already taking. Later on, I went to a rehab, and it did help me some, but then I ended up going back out and doing drugs and drinking again. I went to a few different things to try to help me, but it was hard for me to stop.
Okay. What made you want to stop?
So kind of what made me stop was when I went to the rehab, they taught me some things and kind of showed me some things that I should be doing differently and people I shouldn't be hanging out with and things like that. But like I said before, I went back out and probably drank and did drugs for around a year. Shortly after that, I went to a mental hospital, and I was there for around 3 weeks. And they didn't really teach me anything about not doing drugs or alcohol, but being locked up in a mental health facility just kind of made me realize how bad my life was and at what point I got that I was being locked up in these institutions.
How did you stop?
So I did get some advice from some rehabs and some things like that. There are little groups and things like that you can go to. I did go to inpatient for rehab for 3 weeks, and then I went to outpatient for around a year. So they just checked on me and gave me tests to see if I was sober or not. And like I said, I attended different type groups and things like that, so I could have a community of people like me who could help me out.
How long have you been sober?
I've been sober for 4 years now, a little over 4 years, and I'm still going now.
What are you doing now?
So right now, I'm just in school and I'm working. I plan on opening my own shoe store and having my own clothing brand, and now that I'm sober and I have more opportunities and I'm kind of myself now.
Thank you.
Thank you.